And just to remind you again now that the senior honours training and holiday, just 1 week to go to support this very, very cause. The senior honours training and holiday, 1 week to go. And it's just €10 a ticket, some fabulous prizes, first prize is 2,000, and lots of others, smart TVs and lots of prizes, advertised out in the programme today. And then if you will support that annual draw for the Honours Training and Holiday Fund. Thank you.
Many David Cardi Galeragus go Fáilte Roth go Parchin Ulan for today's County Junior Hurling Final. On a day in Nolan Park, well, where the Shamrocks take on the Loughlin's in the senior game before this junior game. The Ballyhale Shamrocks, they got the better of the Loughlin Gale seniors. And the second stanza here today is the junior final between the Shamrocks of Connacht and O'Loughlin Gales. Connacht, well, they're pat to the final, which saw them beat Kilmacow convincingly in the first round, 331 to 211. In the quarter final, they got the better of a very favoured Moonkind team in a scoreline of 117 to 8 points. And in the semi-final, they counted for the south side of Slieve 25 points to 17. Connacht, well, they're managed by Paul Buggy, Brian Rossiter and Kevin Healy, with Dermot Healy and Paul Byrne providing wise words in the background. Connacht Shamrocks, a club founded way back when God was a boy in 1884, when they entered a football team wearing green and orange. They've had previous success in the Junior Championship, winning the finals in 1976 and most recently in 2007. And some of that 2007 team are still serving the club well, and they're on duty here today. The O'Loughlin Gales, well, they're only a stone's throw from here. A long puck out over Ardán Carroll would land in their grounds. They were founded in 1969. They celebrated their 50th anniversary earlier on this year. Back in August the 3rd, when Michael Dignan and Tomás Mulcahy were part of a brilliant night for the club. They've won the junior title back in 1995, having overcome James Stephens in the earlier stages. A draw in the first game, they only barely survived. They went on to win the replay, win the county championship, go on, win the intermediate, and then seniors followed, culminating with Andy Comfort leading Kilkenny to glory back in the early 2000s. Their management team, well, Paul Phelan, Owen Crone, James O'Keefe, Alan Gagan and Brian Murphy are the men in charge there. Weather conditions today, they're quite good. for this time of the year. It's nice and dry, the pitch is good, not too much wind, and there isn't any sign of rain, although hopefully that's not famous last words. Our referee today is Conor Everard, one of the up-and-coming referees in Kilkenny. We'll give you the two teams as they line out. Starting with O'Loughlin Gales, in goal is number 1, Ben Maher. Oisin Murphy at cornerback, Barry Lawler at fullback, and David Fogarty at cornerback. As the crowd stands for Oran Naveen, Ross Butler will play at wing back, Evan Welsh centre back, Niall Higgins at wing back, Conor Kelly and John Doyle at midfield, Dassel Famba, Gary Kelly and Jamie Ryan will be the half forward line, with Danny O'Connor and the experienced Sammy Johnson and Fergal Brennan completing their full forward line. Conaghy Shamrocks in black and amber, while Pádraig Delaney's in goal. Simon Callan, Davy Healy and Liam Cass will form the full back line. A half back line, Darren Cudahy, Donald Brennan and Brian Healy, although Brian will probably play at centre back. Midfield is Kieran Mooney and Eddie Delaney. Half forward line, Owen Cahill, John Mullen and Tom Phelan. And the full forward line, Dara Dooley, James Bergen and Tom Rice. I'm joined by Kieran Nari on today's commentary. Kieran, just before throw-in, should be a cracker.
Really looking forward to this game, Kieran, and looking forward to a couple of the matchups as well. Barry Lawler at 3 for O'Loughlin's and James Bergen should be a great tussle. And even out here, Sammy Johnson here, he's been very impressive so far in the championship for Conaghy, but really looking forward to it.
Ball is in and the game is on, and the usual tussle in the middle of the field starts off proceedings. We'll probably have a hot ball, and indeed we do. A very, very crowded middle third. Sammy Johnson wearing 14, playing at wing forward, even though he's named at full. Ball breaks out. Gary Kelly, the rangy Gary Kelly wins it, plays it in towards the full forward line. Cut out by Liam Cass at cornerback. Liam looks up and clears it left-handed down the corner towards Dara Dooley. Blocked out there by David Fogarty. Dooley gets to it again and he's tackled again. Breaking out is Niall Higgins. And Sammy Johnson wins the first free of the match for O'Loughlin Gales on their own 65-yard line. Good defending there by Niall Higgins and David Fogarty. Goalkeeper Ben Maher. Well, Ben possesses a great strike in the ball. He's making the long trip up to take this one. 63 metres out from his own goal. I'd be fairly sure he'd have the distance on this one. Will he have the accuracy? Checks the wind and stands back. And connects with it well. It will have the distance, but it goes to the right and wide. O'Loughlin's will be happy with that start, winning the first possession and the first free. Now, Pádraig Delaney with a long one. Way down the field, looking for Tom Phelan. John Mullen tussles for it, but O'Loughlin's win it again. And breaking out with the ball, out towards Conor Kelly, the very gifted Conor Kelly. Plays a beautiful ball into the full forward lane. Fergal Brennan, tackled by 2 Conaghy men. Brian Healy sweeps back, rises at one hand and goes back to his goalie, Pádraig Delaney. Pádraig clears it down the right-hand side. He'll be looking for John Mullen for this one. 2 O'Loughlin's, let's go for the one ball, and Owen Cahill picks up the break. Owen turns back onto his favourite left side and plays a good crossfield ball right across the field. Cut out there by Barry Lawler. Tom Phelan breaks onto it, and Tom with the first shot for Conaghy. And it's the first score of the game for Conaghy. A point apiece with 2 minutes gone on the clock. Kieran, a very good start there by both teams.
Yeah, and Tom Phelan, his first touch of the ball and straight over the bar, so that'll settle him down for the remainder of the first half. But excellent start by both teams, and both teams getting really stuck into it, and the intensity very good so far.
Ben Maher's puck out lands in the half-hour position. Gary Kelly gives it to Dassel Famba. Dassel making his way through. Hand passes it across to number 12, who's Jamie Ryan, who had a very good game in the semi-final, coming on as a sub, and he pops it over the bar. A well-worked score there by O'Loughlin Gales, involving all 3 members of the half-forward line. Couple of good hand passes, good running off the ball, and straight over the bar. 1 point apiece we are after 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Conor Kelly picks up the breaking ball. Niall Higgins, number 7, plays it across the field to number 5, Ross Butler. He was brilliant in the semi-final. Long ball down to the corner. Fergal Brennan, left-handed Fergal Brennan, going down into the corner, followed by Simon Callan, sticking well with his man. Fergal still making inroads, passes it out across, and Jamie Ryan, who's been very involved so far. Jamie off his left hand side and straight over the bar. I might have said a pint apiece earlier on, I was mistaken, but it's definitely 2-1 now to O'Loughlin Gales. They've settled well. Pádraig Delaney going long. He has a huge puck out. Again, down the left hand side, they're favouring Tom Phelan. And why not? Tom wins it with a brilliant catch. Back out to Donald Brennan, off his left. Down into the danger man, James Bergen. 1-on-1 with Barry Lawler. James is going through, turns onto his right hand side. And straight over the bar. Brilliant score there by James Bergen, but this is going to be a right good tussle, as Kieran outlined earlier on, between himself and Barry Lawler. Great look up by Donald Brennan for that ball. Brilliant fetch from the puck out by Tom Phelan to create it. Ben Maher with the Loughlin's puck out. Great start to this match. Down towards Gary Kelly, and he wins it again. Dropped the hurl though. Otherwise Conor Kelly would have had a point. It was a well-worked move by Loughlin's, other than the fact that Gary Kelly dropped the hurl. Referee Conor Everard very sharp there. Picked it up, and it's a free to Conahee Shamrocks. 60 yards out from their own goal, and James Bergen is coming all the way out to take this, so you're looking at about an 85 metre free here for James. James has been scoring very, very heavily for Conahee in the championship so far. Scored 17 points against Kilmacow, 113 against Mooncoin in the quarter-final in a very decisive win for Conahee Shamrocks. This is his first free, a testing one. Strikes it well, strikes it very, very high. Gone the whole way and over the bar. Brilliant score. And after 5 minutes, Conahee take the lead again, 3-2. That'll settle these nerves, Kieran. A point from play and one from a free.
Oh, that was a superb free, Kieran. To have the confidence to come out in county final and just take on a free like that from 70 yards and straight over the post. Excellent start by James Bergen. Another
ball down into the Loughlin's half forward line, the Conahee half back line. Picked up here by Conor Kelly again. Plays it to Sammy Johnson. A couple of short passes by the Loughlin's as they pick out the loose man. That one looks like it's going to drop short. Simon Callanan and Fergal Brennan battling for the ball. Fergal is doing well in there. Pádraig Delaney, the goalkeeper, is out. And Simon Callanan, he's blocked down. Well blocked down there by Jamie Ryan. Another tussle for the ball. Pádraig Delaney has it. The goalkeeper has it. Breaking his way out to the right hand side. And strikes it off his right. This one will come to wing forward Owen Carl. But it's gone out over the line. The ball beat on. And it's a line ball to O'Loughlin's. 30 metres out from the Conahee goal. Who will take this one? I'd imagine it's Conor Kelly, the very, very skillful Conor Kelly. Good from frees and line balls, and also very, very good from play. The son of Brian Kelly, great cornerback stalwart for O'Loughlin's for many, many years. Slight hold up to the play here. Goalkeeper Pádraig Delaney is down. He was not down, but he's looking for attention after that skirmish there. The banished over Paul Buggy makes his way into them, as do Mary Mullen and Kathleen Maher, part of the backup team, the medical team, providing great service. Looks like a hand injury possibly, but the referee Conor Everard is waving away the medical team. Pádraig is okay, and Conor is going to take the line ball. Not his best, and Liam Cass wins it again. Liam has started very well, clearing a couple of balls. Ball played down the wing. Great catch by Owen Carl, and he's fouled. Well won. And the usual bit of shouldering after a free. And another one for James. As a free taker, you always look for a handy one first, but by God, he certainly hasn't got one first or second. This one right out on the sideline on his own 65 metre line. So 75, 78 metres out on the angle. James will take his time. Outstanding hurler who's played minor and under 21 with Kilkenny and fantastic Fitzgibbon Cup campaigns as well recently. Bends, lifts and strikes. Strikes it well, and it looks good from here. Just to the right and wide. Oh, there was only inches in that one. 3-2, 7.5 minutes gone. And again we have a break in play, and it's Pádraig Delaney just once more receiving a bit of spray or something. He obviously got a belt on the hand there, Kieran. It's in that last skirmish, was it?
I think what actually happened, Kieran, he might have been stood on as the ball broke in around the small square. So I think just Fergal Brennan probably accidentally stood on him, but looks to have be in a bit of bother with it at the moment.
Never a good sign when you see a lad getting attention twice. Darren Cuddihy, right half back for Conaghy, comes out with this. Drives it down the field, but it only goes to left half back Niall Higgins for O'Loughlin's. Niall plays it back in towards the dangerous ball is right. The Dock is under it. And he has it? No, he doesn't. Simon Callanan sweeps it up well. Hand passes it outside to Eddie Delaney, and the lovely striking Eddie plays it down into the corner. David Fogarty was out first, but he didn't control it, and the speedy Dara Dooley has it. Dooley taking a shot from a very, very tight angle. And that ball has gone to the left of Ben Maher's posts and wide. Some of the Conaghy lads, I think, thought that was a point, but it was obviously a close one, just wide. Good tussle already developing there between David Fogarty and Dara Dooley. Ben Maher again. He's after taking quite a few puck-outs already. He'll be looking down towards Dassel. Indeed, and he does. Down towards Dassel and Gary Kelly. Kelly goes under it and wins it again. That's his third one to win. Conor Kelly's making his way through the middle. Ross Butler with a lovely switch of play right across the field here. Jamie Ryan and Liam Cass are battling away. Ryan takes him on onto his left-hand side. Dangerous ball in. Davy Healy, the experienced and long striking Davy, drives it down the field. But Higgins is under it again. This man is reading the play well. Plays it across the field. Ross Butler loses out to Eddie Delaney. Owen Carroll, lovely little ball inside to Tom Phelan. Tom doesn't connect with it as he would have liked. And Ben Maher controls it in the goal, going out to his right hand side, looking up. What's on for him? He sees Dassel Fawamba in the middle of the field. But Connie, you've got the numbers in that area. Eddie Delaney picks up that break. Out to Tom Phelan again. Tom trying to make up within seconds for the one that he missed the last time, and he's put it straight over the bar. Fantastic score by Tom Phelan. Another one of Connie's scoring men right throughout this championship. Great confidence there, Kieran. Just miss one, but take on another one.
Yeah, and Conaghy's main men have started very well, Kieran. Tom Phelan there now with his second point of the game, and James Bergen. Like, that'll give the rest of the players on the inside line great confidence as well when you have your two main men already clicking, and they're both chances that he's got, he's nailed the post. 10
minutes gone. Conaghy Shamrock leading 4 points to 2. Gary Kelly seems to be on an awful lot of ball for O'Loughlin's. He's the target for their puck-outs and kind of the focal point of their attack. Another one of these skirmishes develops. O'Loughlin seem to have won it. Man with no hurl, Jamie Ryan, who's been very involved so far. And well pulled on there by Johnny Doyle, experienced Johnny Doyle. And Liam Cass gets it out over the line, miscontrolled it, I suppose. But he's got it safety first, and Conor Kelly will have another line ball now. Jamie Ryan goes back and gets his hurl. We're deep down in the left-hand corner of the O'Loughlin's attack. Halfway between the 14 and the 21. Conor Kelly looks up, probably too tight to shoot from, so he plays it across the goal. Danny O'Connor and Davy Healy, two strong men having a right battle there. He's back out as far as John Doyle, who got a few scores the last day, and he's blown for an illegal hand pass. Conor Everard said that there wasn't a legal striking action. And somebody, after opening their mouth down there, Danny O'Connor might be in a bit of trouble with Conor Everard, a referee who does not take any rubbish whatsoever. Danny, you want to be careful now. Conor calls him back. Danny thought he was finished. He's not. As Davy Healy gets ready to take it. And an early yellow card there for the Dock. He'll have to watch himself now. Never ideal to pick up an early yellow card. Sure, it's not, Kieran.
Oh, and for something as simple as that, just giving a bit of lip to Conor Everard, a stupid yellow card, to be honest, Kieran. But I'd say he's more frustrated with his own performance so far. 2 balls came into him and haven't stuck to his hand yet. And he has been very influential for O'Loughlin Gaels in this junior championship, but to get a yellow card after 12 minutes is very disappointing for Doc, as he'll have to watch himself now for the rest of the game.
And what's also after happening is the ball's being brought up, and this could be turn it into a scoring chance for Eddie Delaney. He strikes it well, but it goes to the right hand side of Ben Maher's goal and wide. O'Loughlin's need a score now. They haven't scored for a few minutes, and Ben Maher, well, he's going to puck it out. 12 minutes and 20 seconds gone. 4 points to 2 for Conaghy. Loughlin's haven't scored since the 3rd minute. That's 9 minutes, so they could do with one. Tom Phelan working his way back, as all good wing forwards should do. And when he gets running, there's very little can stop him. He's still going, and he's still going. And referee Conor Everard played a good advantage for the original foul. The second tackle was a good one, but the first one wasn't. The first one was the foul. He was playing advantage. And a free straight in front of the goal for Conaghy. 35 yards out, and I'd imagine James Bergen will take this one. His 3rd free. He's pointed one and he's missed one very, very difficult one just under us here in the stand. This one, well, you never say a free is easy, but this one is certainly a little bit easier. He'll give it the full concentration. Evan Welch just querying what that one was for. He had a great game at the semi-final as well. He was outstanding. James, 35 yards out, straight in front of the goal. Gives it good attention, strikes it well, and strikes it straight over the bar. His third point, 2 from frees and 1 from play, and Conahee Shamrocks lead by 5 points to 2. 13 and a half minutes gone. They've just gotten a grip there in the last 6 or 7 minutes, Kieran.
Yeah, especially O'Loughlin's can't seem to win the ball on their own half-forward line here, and you can see that once the Conahee players get the ball, they're running at the O'Loughlin's defence, which is causing big trouble at the moment.
Donald Brennan, as to emphasise Kieran's point, wins another breaking ball for Conahee from the Loughlin's puck out. Breaks in. Dara Dooley working with James Bergen underneath him. Gets the break, steadies himself and shoots off his right hand side. It's a high one. It certainly has the height and it has the distance. It's over the bar. A great score by Dooley there. The speedy Dara Dooley. Fresh off the Conahee under 21 team. Under 19 team last year. He's still under 21, but that was an outstanding score there. Read the break well off James Bergen and stuck it over the bar from 60 yards out. Ben Maher goes long again, straight down the middle looking for Gary Kelly. Kieran Mooney dropping back as an extra defender, wins that one with a great catch. Played down towards Tom Rice. Going back there is Oisin Murphy. His father is on the medical team for this team. Tom Rice wins the line ball. It's a line ball to Conahee, or is it? The linesman signalled that it was for Conahee, but I think it's going out, and Conor Everard has actually overruled it. It's a free out. Free out to Loughlin's. Ben Maher, he'll hope to land this one down somewhere around the Conahee 21. And that's exactly where it's going to. Liam Cass under it, tussling well there with Jamie Ryan. Danny O'Connor doesn't win it, and Eddie Delaney does and sweeps it away. Tom Rice beats his man to the ball, out first. Swings in on his right hand side, cutting through in the centre forward position. Great defending by O'Loughlin's there, especially by number 2 Oisin Murphy. Tigerish defending to win that ball back, and another one of these scrums takes place. Owen Cahill emerges with the ball, does well, comes back out. Back out is it Darren Cuddy who takes that shot, and it's just gone wide. That's Conahee's 4th wide already, so 6 points and 4 wides. They'll probably want to up that ratio into a few more points, but it just shows how on top they have been for the last 7 or 8 minutes. They're getting all the shots away. Darren Cuddy with that way. Darren again, a member of the under 19 team. Conahee, well, they've got 6 members of their under 21 team, 3 members of their under 19 team here out today, and also 3 lads who played in 2007, so a good mixture of youth and experience. Ben Maher gets in behind, and James Bergen gets the touch, and it's in the net. It's a goal for Conahee. A long ball in from the half back line. James Bergen took a chance on it. Ben Maher came out, probably hesitated just that little bit, and a little bit of confusion between himself and Barry Lawler. James Bergen got his foot to it and into the net. A crucial score, Kieran.
Yeah, probably maybe Kieran. Ben Maher's trying to be too smart there to flick it out past, and on a day like today you just have to do the basics, and James Bergen reacted the quickest, and a very opportunistic goal, but that's going to be a big blow to O'Loughlin Gales now.
Stretches the margin out to 7 points, 1-6 to 2. O'Loughlin's on the attack, trying to put that right. Number 9, Johnny Doyle, on the ball, out to Dassel Famba. Dassel is a great man to carry the ball, very, very athletic player. Takes the shot from 22 yards out and he puts it over the bar. And a good response by O'Loughlin Gales there to that point. Their first score since the 3rd minute. I make that 14 minutes without a score, and they've gotten it back. It's now 1-6 to 3 points in favour of Conahee Shamrocks. 17 minutes on the clock, and again Pádraig Delaney goes to down far as Tom Phelan, but Oisin Murphy comes out with the ball. Conor Kelly with his hand up looking for the pass, gets the pass, he's right slap bang in the middle of the field, plays it down into Fergal Brennan's corner. It's going to be a right good tussle here between Simon Callanan and Fergal Brennan. Callanan wins this one, turns and onto his right and down the line, plays it. Conor Kelly sweeping in behind Niall Higgins, and he goes back across the field over to Ross Butler. Or not, it's Oisin Murphy rather. Oisin goes long towards the edge of the square. Gary Kelly seems to have moved in full forward. Jamie Ryan, he's gotten the better Liam Cass for this one. And a goal! A goal by Jamie Ryan. A well-worked score by O'Loughlin's. Conor Kelly winning the ball in his own half-back line. Played it across to Oisin Murphy. And with Gary Kelly in the full forward position, you're always going to go direct. Jamie Ryan, who's been very, very lively so far, picked up the break and back it in it. Good response from O'Loughlin's. Kieran, 1-1 to respond to the goal.
Yeah, great response. And you spoke here on earlier about Gary Kelly's presence. He was after winning 3 puckouts, and he's a dangerous man in and around the full forward line. And straight away, Jamie Ryan knew that the break was coming, read the ball, and buried it to the back of the net. A great response by O'Loughlin Gales.
Connie again with Tom Phelan on the ball. Tom from miles out sticks it straight over the bar. That's his 3rd point from play in the first 18 minutes of a county final. You can't ask for a whole lot more than that. And I have to say I'm impressed with both teams, the way that they're responding here when the other team gets a score. This is developing into a high-class junior final here. 4 points in it. Conahee Shamrocks leading 1-7 to 1-3. 18 and a half minutes gone. Ben Maher long down the field. Gary Can. Doc O'Connor has moved out under it. Donald Brennan battling away there with Doc O'Connor. And another one of these scrums and a push in the back there by one of the Conahee defenders, and that'll be a free in 2 O'Loughlin's. And this will be Conor Kelly's first attempt, first chance to get a score from a place ball, from a free anyway. 55 yards out. He's already gotten one. See, can he point this one out? No, Loughlin's, they could do with this. And Conor Kelly puts it straight over the bar. Very, very stylish hurler, Kieran.
Yeah, I'd be very impressed with Conor Kelly all during the junior campaign, and we've seen him last year with the Kilkenny minor team as well. He's great skill and he's a great reader of the game, but his distribution is also excellent, so I'll just watch him when Gary Kelly's in full forward here now.
High ball down the middle, looking for John Mullen. Crowd of players there. Sammy Johnson working back into his own half-back line, gives it across to Evan Welch, and Evan Welch goes long, and O'Loughlin's are very definitely putting the ball in long and high. And another foul in there by a Conahee defender. This time it was Liam Cass and Jamie Ryan tussling for the ball. Conor River decides that Liam was the one who was fouling, and a second chance within a minute for Conor Kelly to point a free. This one more or less the same angle, slightly closer to the goal. Connie, you want to be careful not to be giving away too many frees, because Conor Kelly will point them all. Exactly 20 minutes on the clock as Conor stands over this one. Lifts it, strikes it well, and sticks it straight over the bar. And the margin is back to 2 points now. That's a good response, as I said earlier there, Kieran, from O'Loughlin's. You know, they were hit with a sucker punch. They were 7 points down. They now have it back to 2.
Yeah, and it just seemed to be struggling a small bit with Jamie Ryan there, Conahee Shamrock. So he won that free there again. He's already scored 1-2, so he's definitely the one to be watched for the O'Loughlin Gales forwards.
Loughlin's win this one as well, and again Conor Kelly is available for it. Goes down along the right hand side, again looks for Jamie Ryan, the man in form, the danger man, and Conor Kelly kept his run going. He's down in the corner of the field now, over at Ardán O'Carroll. He comes back out to make the angle a little bit better, swings it in off his left hand side and straight over the bar. 3 in a row for Conor Kelly. 2 from frees, 1 from play. Some lovely interplay there between the O'Loughlin Gales youngsters, Conor Kelly and Jamie Ryan. They worked that score brilliantly. Pádraig Delaney with another puck out for Conahee. He's gone down towards Owen Cahill. Evan Welch is under this. Cahill tries to break it. James Bergen being crowded out, and it is David Fogarty who breaks out. O'Loughlin's after winning the last few balls. Dara Dooley breaks onto it, gets it on, and referee Conor Everett, who had been playing advantage, pulls it back, and a free into Conahee. A broken hurl which Conor fires out to the wing, and this score will be badly wanted by Conahee. O'Loughlin Gales have scored 1-4 to Conahee's solitary point in the last short while. James will be looking for this score to just put Conahee back into that 2 point margin again, just to steady the ship, take the sting out of the O'Loughlin Gales attack, and O'Loughlin's have done very, very well in the last few minutes to reduce that margin back. James lifts, strikes, and he lands that one in over the bar, straight in, straight over, and Conahee Shamrocks have it back out to 2 points. 22 minutes gone, Conahee leading 1-8 to 1-6. And a sizable crowd here, they're certainly enjoying this match. Right good match between 2 very, very good teams. Ben Maher comes down along this left hand side now. Crowd under it, Gary Kelly under it again, as he is under almost every O'Loughlin's puck out. Brian Healy tussling there with Dassel Famba. Gary Kelly's in there as well. Owen Cahill working his way back. And as always happens at this time of the year in those situations, we're going to have a hot ball. 55 yards out from the Conahee goal. And again, the schmozzle develops as extra players come in around the ball. Darren Cudahy wins it well, and on his right hand side plays a lovely ball down into the corner. Dara Dooley using his speed. Evan Welch got there first. Good play by the O'Loughlin centre back. Breaks onto his right hand side. Lovely hand pass to Sammy Johnson. Sammy from 72 yards out drops it in. It's going to land in the full forward position. And Conor Kelly's in there, a danger man on the ball. trying to work his way inside Kieran Mooney. He is inside. A shot, not his best shot. Pádraig Delaney stops it, gathers it, and clears it out off his left-hand side, out to Tom Phelan. Underneath the ball with Ross Butler. And Tom Phelan wins the ball and wins the free. Some great play by Tom Phelan there. He's having a right good game, Kieran.
Yeah, and he's shown very well for the ball, and at the moment Ross Butler just seems to be struggling with him. He's matching him for size there, so normally he'd have that strength over many of the lads he's marked earlier in the league, but Tom Phelan very impressive so far.
Was that a goal chance for Loughlin's there?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I thought maybe Conor Kelly should use Fergal Brennan, who was inside him, but look, Conor probably backed himself. We all know how good of a finisher he is, but just didn't get the shot off the way he would have liked it. But he's one to be watched now. He's after moving into the full forward line, so he's dangerous in there as well. James
Bergen with this latest free. Strikes it well, but it's gone out to Ben Maher's right and gone wide. 5 wides for Conaghy Shamrocks, but they're leading by 2 points. That's the important thing. The clock ticks to exactly 24 minutes. 6 minutes to go in this first half. Time flies when you're having fun. This is a right good game. Danny O'Connor is the target for this puck out. And John Doyle wins the break. He's hooked well, and that's going to be a line ball. I think it's going to be to Conaghy. Looked like a good hook there by a combination of Donald Brennan and Eddie Delaney. And Eddie Delaney, former Fela Skills winner. A master at line balls. I hope I don't put the jinx on him now, but he normally cuts these very, very well up the field. This could be a starting point for an attack here for Conaghy. And he does. Great height. About a 7-iron. Straight down to James Bergen. James didn't win it initially, and he didn't win it the second time either. Good defending by the O'Loughlin Gales player Barry Lawler. Played out to Evan Walsh, and Evan gets it across here to the right hand side. Niall Higgins on the ball. Gives it inside to Sammy Johnson. The very experienced Sammy Johnson has played several times for the O'Loughlin Gales senior team, and Sammy sticks it straight over the bar. Another excellent score. This game has been littered with very, very good scores. Sammy showing his experience there. He's playing at wing forward, and he's working his way back towards his own half back line to get the ball. Showed well there as Niall Higgins broke out and straight over the bar. Under that puck out for Conaghy is Owen Cahill. Kieran Mooney breaks onto it. He's on the ground. Darren Cuddy, who's had a great start to this game, breaks out onto his right hand side, and his shot is blocked by Dassel Foamba. It's going to be a line ball to Conaghy. And as always with line balls for Conaghy, it's Eddie Delaney who makes his way across. Eddie trying to find a nice bit of ground. They're scarce at this time of the year, let me tell you. Although I have to say, Nolan Park looks an absolute picture. There's already been a match on it today and you wouldn't even know. Fantastic grounds. 2 players are very close to that ball. Eddie hits it well and it's going to land inside, but it's going to go wide. Those line balls are almost like a free to Conaghy when they get them. Such as is the talent of Eddie Delaney at line balls, but it's a wonder Conaghy didn't keep somebody inside for that one there. It might just dribbled wide easily enough. Ben Maher is going to take another puck out. He's taken quite a few so far. And again, he's looking for the dock. Danny O'Connor is under this one, and he's under it with Darren Cuddy. Ball breaks. Darren Cuddy gets a boot to it. Tom Phelan working his way back there brilliantly again, looking for Dara Dooley. Well caught there by David Fogarty. Won that ball brilliantly. Plays a nice ball through the middle. Jamie Ryan underneath, and Jamie's after picking up a knock, and that's the last thing Loughlin's need. Kieran Mooney breaking forward. And again, he's dispossessed. Conor Kelly plays it through, and Loughlin's have 2 men down now at this stage. Well caught by Fergal Brennan. Fergal is fouled by Simon Callinan, and it's going to be a free in to O'Loughlin Gales. Sammy Johnson is back up, but Jamie Ryan is down, and it was a fairly shuddering kind of a collision there, Kieran.
Yeah, it was one of them balls where it just hung in the air, and both players went for it. There was no malice threatening in it, but he just came out the worst there now. But O'Loughlin Gales has just got a grip on this game now, Kieran. The last 10 or 15 minutes, their half back line, Evan Welsh has been superb here, and John Doyle here as well. So Conaghy just needs to start getting a few scores now to keep the scoreboard ticking over, and maybe other players just have to step up. The likes of Tom Phelan and James Bergen have been doing the scoring so far, so maybe a few more just need to chip in with a few scores.
Jamie's back on his feet. He's been checked over by the O'Loughlin Gales management and medical team. Putting the helmet back on, that's always a good sign, so he's going to continue. does look a little bit shook there about Paul Phelan, the manager. Well, he'll be obviously delighted to see down there also James O'Keefe and Alan Gagan. I wonder what he think about coming on. He was certainly very, very good in the Junior B final, took over the free taken and got them to victory as Conor Kelly dispatches that one straight over the bar, and we're all square with 2 minutes to go to half time. The first time since the third minute of the game we've been level, despite the fact that the game has been pretty even all through. We're only level again. 1-8 apiece. 28 minutes gone. 2 minutes to go to half time. Owen Carl is tackled by Sammy Johnson, who's having a very good game. But Sammy's surrounded by 3 men. Dassel Famba comes in to give him a hand. Good tussle for the ball. We're very, very close to the sideline. Again, extra bodies arrived. The reinforcements are there. And Jamie Ryan wins it again and wins another free for O'Loughlin Gales. Jamie Ryan is having one hell of a game here. He's all over the place. He's playing right corner forward. That time he was out at left half forward. Having a wonderful, wonderful game, and you'd have to imagine that Loughlin's will be very, very happy to try and win these frees, which Conor Kelly is putting over the bar one after another lately. But very impressed with Jamie Ryan, Conor, or Kieran.
Yes, Jamie Ryan, and he was only being used as a sub earlier in the championship. But that's one just tail off to the right. We put the jinx on.
The commentator's curse. That's I'd say that's the first one he's missed.
There will be at least 2 minutes additional time at the end of normal game time in the first half. At least 2 minutes additional time at the end of normal playing time in the first half.
And Tommy Duggan tells us in his dulcet southern tones that there'll be 2 minutes of additional time. And again, O'Loughlin's have won it. But referee Conor Everard, that's the second time today that he's penalised O'Loughlin's for not a clear contact on the hand pass. I wouldn't quite call it a throw, but it has to be a clear striking action. He obviously didn't see that. And another free for Conaghy. A chance for James Bergen to get another point. He's already got a goal. He's got a point from play and he's got 3 frees. A chance to put over his 4th free here now. He's more or less straight in front of the goal. 43 yards out, we'll call it. My maths was never great. But James lifts and strikes and sticks it straight over the bar. Always nice to get a few frees like that when you're on the frees for your team. One straight in front of the goal. They need the concentration, but they're easier to score. Ben Maher, long. He's looking for Gary Kelly. Gary Kelly's under it. Went with his right hand that time. Eddie Laney breaks it out to Kieran Mooney. Kieran Mooney plays it across towards Dara Dooley. Conaghy deliberately playing this corner, it looks like. James Bergen well tackled by Barry Lawler. Those two boys are having a right tussle. Lawler be disappointed with the goal, but he's responded well since. And David Fogarty, who's having a great game with Niall Higgins just outside and probably 2 of O'Loughlin's best players. They're having a great first half. And O'Loughlin's have won the free again, and Ben Maher will make his way out from the goal to take this one on the 50-yard line, the 50-metre line.
I just keep an eye on Niall Higgins for the next couple of minutes here, Kieran. He seems to have pulled up with his hamstring there that time he went up with the hurl, so we'll just keep an eye on him here for the next few minutes.
Luckily enough for Niall, and you're right, he's rubbing the back of his leg in that way that people with hamstring injuries do. We're in injury time, so he'll have the half-time break to have a look at it and maybe assess it, get a rub on it or something like that. But Ben Maher goes long with this one. This is going to land at the edge of the square. Danny O'Connor's under it. Breaks inside, and it is Brian Healy who clears it, the experienced Brian, but he's half blocked down there by Jamie Ryan, who's doing untold work in this first half. Dassel Famba under it, clears it out, but only to Owen Cahill, 25 yards out. Owen working his way back towards his own goal, and it's a line ball. It's going to be a line ball to Conaghy. There was a touch by one of the Loughlin's players on that strike, taking it out over the line, and a line ball to Conaghy. Eddie Delaney will take it, so it's more or less a free out. Eddie strikes it long into the middle of the field. Owen Cahill under it again. Tom Phelan pulls on it brilliantly down into the corner. Dara Dooley is there with David Fogarty. David trying to shepherd it out, and he does shepherd it out, and it's gone out over the line. I didn't see how much injury time was indicated, Kieran, did you?
No, I didn't actually. I don't think they announced it, so we just play it by ear for the moment.
Well, Tommy Duggan, I think he said 2 minutes, didn't he? Conor Everard is looking for the ball, and whatever many minutes there are, there'll be no more, because that is the end of the first half. It's been a very, very interesting, very, very good and entertaining county junior hurling final, and at half time it's Conaghy Shamrocks who lead by 1-9 to O'Loughlin Gales 1-8. And for the story of that first half, I'll hand you over to Kieran Nari.
Yeah, very entertaining first half, Kieran. So Tom Phelan opened the scoring after the second minute for Conaghy with a point from play. That was cancelled out with a point by Jamie Ryan from O'Loughlin Gales to leave it a point each after 3 minutes. Jamie Ryan then put O'Loughlin Gales in front. with 2 points to 1, and James Bergen followed then with a free to level it in the third minute at 2 points each. Then James Bergen edged Conaghy in front with a free, 3 points to 2 after 5 minutes. Then Tom Phelan got his second point from play in the 10th minute to leave Conaghy 4 points to 2 in front. James Bergen then pointed a free again, to his third point of the game, to leave it 5 points to 2 after 13. Then Dara Dooley added a great individual score to leave it 6 points to 2 after 14 minutes. Then James Bergen scored an opportunist goal to leave it 1-6 to 2 points after 16 minutes. But Faisal Mwamba pointed for O'Loughlin's to leave it 1-6 to 3 after 17. Then a great goal by Jamie Ryan in the 18th minute left it 1-6 to 1-3, 3-point lead for Conaghy Shamrocks, where Tom Phelan responded with another point from play, his third, to leave it 1-7 to 1-3 after 19 minutes. Then Conor Kelly added 2 points from frees to leave it 1-7 to 1-5 after 20 minutes, and then added his first point from play to leave it 1-6 to 1-7 in the 21st minute. Then James Bergen added another point for Conaghy to leave it 1-8 to 1-6, but this was cancelled out with a great Sammy Johnson point from play to leave it 1-7 to 1-8 after 25 minutes. Then the last 2 scores of the game, Conor Kelly added a free, but this was cancelled out by James Bergen to leave it 1-9 to 1-8 to Conaghy Shamrocks at half time.
And that's the story of the first half, and we'll be back to you when the teams come back out for the second half of this County Junior Hurling final. A fantastic game so far, and at half time, as we said, it's Conaghy who lead by 1-9 to 1-8. And welcome back, and both teams are back out in the field for the start of the second half. Kieran, 2 substitutions for Loughlin's.
Yeah, we spoke about Niall Higgins seems to be struggling with a hamstring and he's off, and Jamie Young, last year's full back for Kilkenny Miners, is in, and Owen Wall is in for Daniel O'Connor in the forward line as well.
That'll give him a different type of attack, won't it? Wall is very speedy.
Yeah, Owen Wall, exactly, Kieran. When he'd be looking for kind of a ball played in front of him rather than a high ball going into him. So, but once he gets the ball, he's very, very dangerous. He can turn left and right, and he has good pace.
Ball is in and the second half is on, and we'll see how that particular tussle balances out. Eddie Delaney wins the first ball of the second half, plays it in towards James Bergen, but Barry Lawler, as he's been all day, is right up with James. James has it again, turns in, he's 30 yards out, off his right. He strikes it off his right and it goes straight over the bar, and a great start to the second half by Conaghy. Wonderful score by James Bergen. Conaghy, scorer in chief right throughout this championship, starts the second half in good form. Ben Maher pucks it out and he goes long. He goes very, very long, looking for Gary Kelly again. Brian Healy bats it down and Eddie Delaney wins a second breaking ball. Evan Walsh, the O'Loughlin centre back, plays it back in towards the edge of the square. Fergal Brennan is under it and Wall will look for the breaks. Fergal Brennan didn't win it. Brian Healy got back and pulls on it out to the right hand side, and Eddie Delaney already on his third possession of this second half and not a minute gone. Strikes it down the field. John Mullen is under it, knocks it down as far as own Cal. Cal making his way forward up along the right hand side. Cuts inside and he's taken too many steps. Conor Everhardy very sticky on the technical fouls, over carrying the illegal hand passes. Ben Maher is going to take this one. More or less halfway between the 45 and the 65, a little closer to the 45. And a very strong sun has just emerged from behind the clouds. It'll be in the faces of the O'Loughlin Gales backs and the Conaghy forwards for this second half. You can see the fairly distinctive shadows being cast down at the city end here as Ben Maher settles a bit of ground in front of the ball. Steadies himself. And strikes it. Long. Has he the distance? It's certainly got the height anyway. Hits the post and goes wide. Tremendous effort from Ben Maher there. Only O'Loughlin Gales third wide, their first of the second half. Their accuracy's been very good. Their use of the ball has been quite good. They would love to have gotten that one. Pádraig Delaney goes to this left hand side, out towards Donald Brendan Kieran Mooney. Mooney has it, turns onto his left and plays it down along the left hand side. Tom Rice out in front of Oisin Murphy for that ball. Rice battling well, wins it. He still hasn't got it though. He turns back out onto his right, plays it across the goal. No Conaghy forward in there, and it's number 4 David Fogarty, and he's blocked down. Dara Dooley, chance of a goal for Conaghy. Fogarty redresses the balance by bursting out of the ball. Can he clear it? He's had a great game, the cornerback David Fogarty, but he only clears it out as far as Darren Cuddihy. Darren hand passes it to Eddie Delaney, and the sweet striking Delaney gets this one in and over the bar, and a good start to the second half for Conaghy. They've stretched a 1 point gap out to 3. 111 to 1-8 after 33 minutes, just under 33 minutes. 3 minutes of the second half gone, and the pause in with a hurl for John Mullen. John operating at centre forward, the glue that keeps all these good forwards together. Ben Maher with another long ball down the field. Kieran Mooney, who's had an excellent start to this second half, might have been disappointed with his first half. Cleared there by Ross Butler down towards Fergal Brennan. Fergal Brennan is fouled by Brian Healy. Brian looks a little bit perplexed. The hands are out, wondering why. But it's a free in. And Conor Kelly with a chance to get O'Loughlin's on the mark for this second half. 40 yards out from the Conaghy goal, 45 yards out. The distance will certainly be no problem to Conor. And you'd have to imagine he'll have the accuracy as well. Very, very good free taker, outstanding hurler. Lifts and strikes and straight over the middle of the crossbar. Many's that for Conor now, Kieran?
That's his fourth free, Kieran, and he's one from play as well, so 5 points altogether.
5 points altogether out of a tally of 1-9. One of the Loughlin's players just down, receiving a little bit of attention here in front of us. It's John Doyle, the experienced John Doyle, who's been around the block a few times now, brings a great bit of leadership and experience to this young team. Conor Everard checks on him. Say John will be alright. Drop of the magic sponge in the magic water and off we go again. Pádraig Delaney is going to go along with this one. Out to the left hand side. Tom Phelan the target. Ross Butler is underneath it with him. Donald Brennan working well underneath Tom Phelan, but Loughlin's win it. Conor Kelly on the ball, and a great flick hook blocked there by Tom Phelan. Flicks it out over the sideline. Lovely skill that when a player throws up the ball to be able to flick it away. Conor Kelly's going to take the line ball that he won himself.
Just the work rate here on the Conaghy forwards at the start of the second half has been superb. That point for Edmund Delaney was created by the hard work at the inside full forward line, so if they can keep that match, I think that it could see him through.
And you're right, Kieran, the work rate of both teams, and in fairness to Conaghy, they've got a few scores from work rate. Donald Brennan won that ball out to Liam Cass, who clears it down the wing. Kieran Mooney tried to flash through on the break, and another one of these muzzles, and John Milan, he plays it into Kieran Mooney. Mooney tries to dance through the Loughlin's Gales defence, but he's well tackled. Ball breaks back out to John Mullen. John hand passes it to James Bergen, doesn't work out, and Barry Lawler clears it down the wing. Gary Kelly plays a lovely ball across the middle into John Doyle, who plays the ball into full forward Fergal Brennan, who's causing Conaghy Shamrocks problems, and he wins yet another free. Fergal Brennan doing very, very well winning frees. Lovely ball in there by John Doyle after some good work by the O'Loughlin's backs. Barry Lawler and James Bergen having a right tussle there, Kieran. You pointed that out before the match, and it's certainly developing that way.
Yeah, I've seen Barry Lawler a good few times now, Kieran, in the last couple of years, and even last year under 19. Very, very impressed with him. He's just your standard full back where he just do the basics very, very well, and there's nothing flamboyant or anything about him, but he'll just do his job, and that's all you want from him. And he's keeping James Bergen under tabs now.
And Conor Kelly does the needful from the free, and we're back to the minimum as we were at half time. Conaghy Shamrocks leading by a point. 2 points each in the second half. 111 to 110 in favour of Conaghy. 36 minutes gone. Pádraig Delaney's puck out breaks into the middle, and centre back Evan Walsh picks it up. Hand passes it across towards Sammy Johnson. Gary Kelly is the one who latches onto it. Davy Healy out first to this ball. Leaves his man behind him, but Davy wins it well. Tom Phelan. If Tom gets galloping, they'll know and catch him. Ross Butler tries to stay with him. He's fouling him. Conor River plays advantage and now calls it back for the original foul. Free into Conaghy Shamrocks. Just outside the 50 metre line. 52 metres out, and James Bergen will be having a rap at this one. But again, this second half has carried on as the first half started. Very, very entertaining game. A good challenging game good tussle between two good teams. I'd say it'll go to the wire, Kieran, will it?
I think so, the way it's going, Kieran, but for Conaghy there, every time they need a score or someone to stand up, Tom Phelan has done it every time, and that time again he carried that ball, won the free. Oh, that's a very poor wide there now by James Bergen. Just seemed to snatch at that one. That's one he would have expected to score, and I think it's one we all expected him to score. Gone wide. He'll be hoping that we don't need that one at the end of the match. And when I say we, I'm not hiding my neutrality in any way here. I'm a Conaghy man. Long ball from Ben Maher down the field. Darren Cuddihy, young Darren Cuddihy, who's having an excellent game at right half back, gives it to John Mullen, much more involved in this game. A high ball in, the break will be important here. Barry Lawler wins that ball again. Oisin Murphy, but James Bergen has it, and he hasn't it.
It breaks out to the wing, to the half-time substitute, Jamie Young. He hand passes it out to Sammy Johnson. Johnson doing very, very well in this game here. He's running out of road though, flicks it out lovely, out as far as Ross Butler. Ross is trying to break out, he's fouled. And a free out to O'Loughlin's, but another example of the outstanding work rate of the Conaghy forwards there. They're just unlucky to give away the free that time. But on 2 or 3 separate occasions in that little move, 3 of them were tackling the man on the ball. Energy sapping stuff, but they're fit and they're hurling well and they're tackling with great intent. Conor Kelly's gone back miles to take this one now. He's well back in his own half-back line. You're probably looking at a 100-yard free here, or just a little bit short of it maybe. Conor Kelly will try to level the scores up once again. He strikes it well. It has the distance and it has the accuracy as well. Brilliant artistry by Conor Kelly. He's given a display here today. 1-11 apiece. We're all square. 9 minutes gone almost in this second half. Pádraig Delaney again looks for Tom Phelan, and why wouldn't you? He's having a great game. Kieran Mooney goes up as well. Neither of them get it. And it breaks in the middle. It's Conor Kelly again making his way down the right. Donal Brennan flicks it away, and this will be a line ball to O'Loughlin's. Just down under us here in the commentary position. Conor Kelly, who's been on the ball quite a bit now. Plays a short one in to Sammy Johnson. Johnson looks up into the left corner, and a speedy Owen Wall. This will be an interesting one now. Wall turns back out onto his right, takes a shot. Not the best connection, but it is as good as it needs to be because it's gone straight over the bar. And you could see there, Kieran, that the experienced Sammy Johnson, he knew Wall's qualities. The pace got him in a 1-on-1. He knew what he was looking for.
Exactly, and that's what Owen Wall brings as well, Kieran. If you put a ball in front of him like that, it's very, very hard to defend against.
This ball breaks out to James Bergen. Seems to be moved out to centre forward. I wonder, is that something that will hold, or is it just a temporary thing? That one unlucky, just to the right hand side as we're looking at it, to Ben Maher's left and wide. Can you reckon up the wides, Kieran? First wide of the second half, and we had 9 or 10 in the first half. Need to straighten it up a little bit. Ben Maher pucks it long. Possession here will be important. Conor Kelly flicks it through to himself. Gary Kelly's gone ahead of him. Conor going through, takes a shot left-handed, and it's blocked out by Simon Callanan out over the Conaghy Shamrocks end line. It's going to be a 65-2 O'Loughlin Gales. And another half chance of a goal there. Much like the first half, just didn't quite get the connection on it, Kieran.
Yeah, and probably might have used the 2 lads either side of him that he could have put into better positions, but he backed himself to score. But Kieran, worrying for Conaghy is they haven't scored since the 33rd minute, and that's 4 unanswered points now for O'Loughlin Gales. So
O'Loughlin's have turned a 3-point deficit into a 1-point lead, and a chance to make it 2 here as Conor Kelly comes out, does that little wind test with the bit of grass. Striking into the sun, and this sun is it's deceptively strong, and it's going to be a hindrance to the people who are looking into it. Conor Kelly hits it and straight over the bar again. Lovely style of striking a free. It doesn't go too high, but it always goes over the bar. O'Loughlin's now, that's their biggest lead of the match. They lead by 2 points. Critical time of the match now, 20 minutes to go. Pádraig Delaney long to the right hand side. He's looking for John Mullen, and James Bergen is definitely out at centre forward now, tackling Evan Welch there. And Conor Everard is playing advantage. He had his hand up. The linesman's flag is up as well. I wonder what the decision is going to be. The Conaghy lads think they have a line ball. I think the Loughlin lads think they have a free. A little bit of confusion as to what it is. And it's going to be a free. I was thinking Conor Everard had his hand up for advantage all right. And Conor Kelly makes his way over to take this one. Right over on the left-hand sideline as he's playing under Ardán Brenach. And every single one of the people in Ardán Brenach have their hands up to their face, which just shows that the sun is shining against you if you're at that end of the field. Conor Kelly bends, lifts and strikes. And this one is going to land short. In around the Conaghy square. And a square ball, you can't be in the square before the free lands in there. You can do it in open play all right, but Pádraig Delaney is going to take a free out for Conaghy now. Conaghy need a score here, Kieran.
Yeah, they're struggling, Kieran. Just the O'Loughlin Gales half back line and midfield have gotten top now here since the Edmund Delaney point. Badly need a score, but they're just going to use Tom Phelan here again.
High ball in, John Mullen underneath it. Ross Butler outnumbered just for a moment there by Connie lads, but the backup arrives. Sammy Johnson is there, and another one of these skirmishes is going to end in a hot ball. One or two people getting excited. Sammy Johnson having a big influence on this match. Ross Butler and John Mullen in for this one. And Conor Everard throws it in between about 6 lads. Ross Butler wins it. Breaking out. He's tackled well by Connie, and Eddie Delaney off his left hand side from out on the left wing puts it straight over the bar. A fantastic score. Barely had room to swing the hurl out of the tackle. Fantastic score, Kieran.
Well, that was a superb score, Kieran. He has no space at all there and just split the post, and that's his second point from distance now, so an important score for Conaghy as well.
You'd have to wonder, is it a score that could inspire greater things? O'Loughlin's look to respond. Ben Maher's puckouts are going way down the field. The speedy Owen Wall latches onto it. It's out towards the wing, and it's going to be a line ball to Conaghy Shamrocks. Eddie Delaney makes his way back to take it. One or two of the Loughlin Gales lads think it should be a line ball to them, but the linesman has signalled that it is a Conaghy Shamrocks ball. Little bit of discussion. And have we a change of decision here? Is it a free in? Looks to be. I didn't quite see what that was for, but Conor Everard has gone over and overruled the line ball. That's a line ball to Loughlin's. He's overruled it. Conor Kelly with a brilliant line ball all the way across the field. Sammy Johnson made a lovely ghosting run up the field. He strikes it in, and he strikes it over the bar. Great experience there from Sammy Johnson. Great skill from Conor Kelly. And a valuable point for Loughlin's as they lead by 2. Conaghy Shamrocks making a substitution. Bill Murphy, number 22, is coming on, and Tom Rice, number 15, is coming off. Bill Murphy, who's made an impact in some of the games when he's come on. We're almost halfway through this second half. 44 minutes and 44 seconds gone, and it's the Loughlin Gales who lead 114 to 112. Bill Murphy on for Tom Rice. Parry Delaney with the latest puck out for Conaghy. Goes down the middle, looking for John Mullen. Mullen out in front of his man and catches it. Oh, Darren Cuddy, he slips as the ball was hand passed back to him. Owen Wall bursting through. He's clear, he's very quick, this lad. A brilliant hook by John Mullen. Fantastic stuff by John Mullen, working all the way back from the centre forward position. Simon Callanan to Eddie Delaney. And here's Bill Murphy's first chance to make an impact. Ball broken down there by Oisin Murphy. Owen Cahill fighting hard for the ball. James Bergen's in there as well. Barry Lawler and Evan Walsh there. And Evan Walsh has had a great game at centre back. Makes his way out, up along, kicks it. Down along the right hand side. Conor Kelly and Liam Cass. Or no, it's Jamie Ryan and Liam Cass battling hard for it. Eddie Delaney hand passes it out to Tom Phelan. He's blocked by Oisin Murphy. He has it again. He loses it again. Ross Butler's underneath it. Tom Phelan is on top of it almost. He's got the ball in his hand. He's trying to burrow his way through. Gives it to Kieran Mooney. Kieran Mooney inside to James Bergen. Bergen opens up the shoulders and goes on a run. He's met fair and square there by Evan Walsh, and it's going to be a free out to O'Loughlin's for over carrying. James obviously got hurt in the tackle and wasn't able to release the ball. And he's down and he's fairly shook, and this could be a very serious moment for Conaghy. We'll hope that James is okay. A shuddering challenge there from Evan Walsh, Kieran.
Yeah, and look, James Bergen has come out the worst, but in fairness, I think it was a fair challenge, and he met him just spot on. And unfortunately, I hope James Bergen is okay, because he's one of Conaghy's main players, and it'd be terrible to see him go off with an injury. But the massive chance there as well, Kieran, for O'Loughlin Gales. Owen Wall had Conor Kelly gone inside him if he had to just look up, and you could see Conor Kelly was clearly calling for it. That could have been a goal chance there, because it looked as though he only had the 14-yard line to run into, plenty of space. So that could be a big turning point too, Kieran, but hopefully James Bergen gets up okay here now.
A very critical couple of minutes in this game. That goal chance for O'Loughlin's, brilliant defender by John Mullen to prevent that from Owen Wall. And now James Bergen down injured. Conaghy management just discussing their options here. Paul Buggy, Brian Rossiter, Kevin Healy and Dermot Healy underneath us. They're having a chat. James is back up on he's up on one leg, he's up on two legs. He's holding his head though. There's no question but he's shook after that challenge, and let's just be very clear here. It was a very fair challenge. James now is walking away from it. He's getting his helmet. Referee Conor Everard is giving instruction to the Conaghy line. I'm not quite sure what way this is going to pan out, but John Mullen has definitely gone back out to centre forward. James is going to work at full forward, and Conaghy make a substitution. They're taking off Darren Cudahy, number 5, and they're bringing on number 19, Ollie Feehan. Young Darren Cudahy, who had a reasonable game up to that, just slipped for that goal chance that O'Loughlin's had there. Darren makes way for Ollie Feehan, a man who's been unfortunate with injuries, but done well in a couple of games when he's come on as well. Now O'Loughlin's on the attack again. Long ball in, and it's gone all the way through and wide. So still the 2 points in it. 48 minutes gone. Conaghy Shamrocks 1-12, O'Loughlin Gales 1-14. The Townmen lead. Parry Delaney tries to pick out Eddie Delaney, his first cousin, with that ball. Owen Wall latches onto it. He's made a difference. He's played well. Tries to hand pass it inside, and again the tireless John Mullen strikes it in, but he only hits it to his own man. That's Evan Welch, and Evan is going to go along with this one. Nothing pretty about it. It's effective and straight all the way in, and it's just gone wide again. Gary Kelly was underneath that one. Big tall man Gary. If he had to get a touch to that one, it would have been hard to defend, but he didn't, and it's gone wide. Parry Delaney with the latest puck out. Again down this left hand side, more towards the middle. John Mullen wins it again. What a 5 minutes this man has had. Inspirational stuff from John Mullen. Wins the free. James Bergen making his way out to take it. This will be the first one after the injury. Let's just see how he is. I'm just getting word that the County Camogie final has gone the way of Dixborough. 178 points they've beaten Piltown. We'll get back to the ranch here, and I see Conaghy warming up the veteran Alan Healy. Hasn't as much hair now as he had the last time we won the junior, but James takes the free and strikes it to Ben Maher's right and wide. That's 2 he's put to that side and wide. You'd have to wonder, is that injury just affecting him? Hopefully he'll be okay now. Just give him a minute or two to settle down. Ben Maher goes long again. And he certainly does go along. 30 yards out. Gary Kelly underneath it with the right hand again. Interesting way about going for the puck out. Stassel Famba fighting hard. Conaghy winning it, and Brian Healy breaks out to the right hand side and kicks it. He's fouled, and it's going to be a free out to Conaghy. Great defending from Brian Healy, one of the more experienced men on this team. Former Kilkenny minor. Gives it to his brother Davy, another former Kilkenny minor. Davy, a good striker of the ball. Well, he's just outside his own 21 on the tip of that arc. Where will he go with this one? He's looking for someone to make a run. Benz lifts and strikes it long down towards Tom Phelan, who seems to have worked his way in towards the middle. He's got it in his hand. A brilliant catch by Tom Phelan. He's under advantage. Will he go for a goal? It's gone wide, but Conor Everard brings it back because he was playing advantage. You could see it clearly was indicated from early in that. Fantastic catch from Tom Phelan. And a free into Conaghy, and a little bit of shouldering and handbags going on down there. Not much. James Bergen will be hoping to get this one over for his own sake after missing 2, and for Conaghy's sake now that they're 2 points down. Critical moment, Kieran.
Yeah, and the same man again, when Conaghy need him, Tom Phelan has stood up every time and carried that ball through and won the free. So if to get this is back to a 1 point game, and Conaghy just coming back into it here on the half back line. The last couple of chances that, or balls that come down, they've came out with him. So James pointed that one, so a 1 point game again.
We're back to the minimum. 51.5 minutes gone. O'Loughlin's leading 114 to 113 as Conaghy bring on Alan Healy. The veteran Alan, 34 years of age, one of Conaghy Shamrock's greatest ever hurlers.
Number 17, Alan Healy, replacing number 13, Dara Dooley.
And it's Dara Dooley who's coming off. Young Dara, just fresh off of the Conaghy under-19 team. His first year on the adult team. He's done well. But he makes way now for the experienced Alan Healy for this one. Alan's gone in full forward. James Bergen's gone corner forward. Referee Conor Everard just wants everybody outside the 21 before the puck out. They're out. Well, the Conaghy lads are out anyway. And Ben Maher, off he goes. Drives it down to the right half forward position. Owen Wall is under it with Donald Brennan. Ball breaks down. Dassel Famba is underneath it. Conor Kelly loses out in the break. Eddie Delaney pulls on it across the field, straight across. Owen Cahill and Jamie Young fighting for this one. Owen Cahill wins it. He's got Ollie Feehan inside him, and he uses Ollie Feehan. A great run forward by the man from Esker, and a great hook. Brilliant defending there by Johnny Doyle. And the battle for the ball ensues. O'Loughlin's win it. And out they come with Ross Butler. Strikes it left-handed down to the corner here towards Gary Kelly. Kelly gets inside, lets the ball beat him. Gets inside Davy Healy. Healy defends him well. Great defending by Davy Healy. Across the goal by Gary Kelly. Conor Kelly latches onto it, but Conor Everard brings the play back. He was playing advantage. I think Gary Kelly was being fouled. And it's going to be a free in to O'Loughlin Gales on the 20 metre line, 21 yard line, whichever you want to call it, halfway between the goal and the sideline. And Conor Kelly, well, he's not in a huge rush. With 7 minutes to go and you're a point up in a county final, you don't need to rush. A chance to make it 2. Conor's been very, very good in the freeze all day. This is one of these critical ones. And he sticks it straight over the bar. O'Loughlin Gales back out to a 2-point lead. 115 to 113 they lead. 6 minutes and 20 seconds of normal time to go. Parry Delaney. I wonder will he go for Tom Phelan. He goes short to Donal Brennan. Donal offers himself well. Turns in on a little pirouette. Strikes it right-handed down towards the tip of the arc, where Evan Welsh, who's had a very, very good game for O'Loughlin's, clears it out to the side here towards Owen Wall. Wall and Eddie Delaney both going for it. Kieran Mooney is there as well. Delaney back around it. Kieran Mooney gets it up, breaks forward and gives it to John Mullen. Mullen strikes it left-handed in towards the O'Loughlin's goal. That one will end up with Ben Maher. And the sun is obviously affecting quite a few players down there. You could see players weren't able to get their bearings on the ball, but Ben Maher did. And he strikes it long down towards Gary Kelly. Well batted out by Davy Healy. That's some battle between the two of them in there. Davy Healy clears it without catching it. Lift and strike. And Owen Cahill is fouled. Wins the free for Connacht, as he's done a couple of times in this second half. Young Owen Cahill, another member of the Connacht Shamrocks under-19 team. His father Sean played in the 1992 intermediate final against Gordon. Winning that free, and James Bergen comes out. And this one by no means easy, Kieran, but he could do it getting this one for Connacht's sake.
Yeah, exactly. And Connacht just needs someone else to step up and get another score, Kieran. They've only had 3 scores from play so far in the game, and one of them has gone off there now. So just need someone else to pop up and get a score, because they're relying on James Bergen and Tom Phelan for most of the scores here now. But if he gets this back to a one point game again, and interest in the last 5 minutes,
it certainly will. James Bergen looks at the goal, the sun in his back, and he strikes it right-handed. He's happy with it, and it's gone over the bar by James Bergen. How many points is that he's after getting, Kieran? Straight over the bar. He's been very, very good for Connacht today.
8 points and a goal, so 1-8 today for James Bergen.
1-8 out of 114. That's fair old tracking, let me tell you. Ben Maher coming down this right hand side, plenty of height and certainly plenty of length. Gary Kelly under it with Donal Brennan. The ball breaks and Kieran Mooney picks up the break, but he's blocked down. Dassel Famba in possession. Dassel being well tackled by the Connacht backs, but he's fouled. Not so sure about that one.
Oh, very harsh free there. I thought it was excellent defending from Connacht, and the ball had broke out to Sammy Johnson, but I thought that was very, very harsh free now.
Conor Everard, in fairness to him, he's had a good game. He's been picking up the technical things. Perhaps that one was a little bit soft, but maybe that's the Connacht man breaking out in me. Conor Kelly with a chance to put the gap back out to that 2 points that's been in it on and off there for a good while. Conor Everard just telling Eddie Delaney to move away. Don't think he'll affect this free somehow or another. Kelly will concentrate on it. Donal Brennan stands there with the hurl up, trying to put off the free taker. Conor lifts and strikes, and straight over the middle of the crossbar, as always. A fantastic display of free taking by Conor Kelly, and he's into double figures now. 10 points out of 116. Brilliant stuff from him. O'Loughlin's 116, Connacht Shamrocks 114. 3 minutes to go, 57 on the clock. Ross Butler clears all the way over to Kieran Mooney, who picks it up. He's playing it right half back now. Brian Healy it is, rather. Sorry, how could I mix them two up? Clear down the field by O'Loughlin's. Down towards this corner where Jamie Ryan is trying to get on it. Liam Cass, who has subdued Jamie fairly well in this second half. Liam Cass fouled, and it's going to be a free out to Connacht. Davy Healy, well, he's in a rush now. Connacht need 2 scores without reply. Need 2 points without reply anyway. Davy strikes it long, down the middle. Evan Walsh is under it, and they're struggling to see it down there, some of the players. Ross Butler onto the break, and the break onto Jamie Young as well. Oisin Murphy, who's had a fine game at right cornerback for O'Loughlin's, breaking out of the ball, but he's been very, very well tackled by the Cunninghy forwards who try to win it back. Another one of these scrums starting Rugby World Cup time, plenty of scrums, they're here today as well, and it's going to be a hot ball, about the 4th or 5th time we've had one of those. Ball is thrown in. Who wins it? Cunninghy Shamrocks win it, and they win a free in. A valuable free won, and it's that man again, Tom Phelan, showing great leadership. Won the hot ball, tried to break through, was held up illegally, and it's a free in to Cunninghy. James Bergen, 25 yards out, just to the slightly to the right of the goal as he'll be looking, with a chance to bring it back to the minimum. A minute and a half left of normal time, 116 to 114 in favour of Loughlin's. James will try to reduce the gap back to the minimum, and he does. Sticks it straight over the bar, 116 to 115. O'Loughlin Gales leading. Attempted to become one of those unusual situations where a second team wins the junior championship, done in the past by the likes of Glenmore back in the 90s. Ben Maher fires it down the field, and again he's looking for Gary Kelly, and Donald Brennan is under it. Dassel Famba there, as he has been on all the breaking balls. Conor Kelly there as well. The Cunninghy men, well, Brian Healy is there. Jamie Ryan. And there's a bit of a tussle. The whistle is gone. Jamie Ryan is down injured. There's no clear signal from the referee. We don't know what's after happening. He's just wondering, is he checking on a head injury? We might have a hot ball, I'd say. Or did he give a free one way or the other there, Kieran?
No, it's a hot ball. I think Jamie Ryan was in possession of the ball, and he just seems to have picked up a knock. But I think Conor Everard, the referee, did point for a hot ball. So. Okay,
it's going to be a hot ball. We believe the Loughlin's medical team, and as you can imagine, they won't be in too much of a rush now. As we head towards injury time, 23 seconds to go in normal time. Referee Conor Everard is having a chat with his linesman Stephen Delaney there, just to clarify that they get the right decision. Jamie Ryan with his helmet off, and Jamie Ryan puts his helmet back on, and it is going to be a hot ball, and this will suit Loughlin's down to the ground. They'll try and get plenty of bodies in around this and hold it up there for a little bit longer. They win possession. Johnny Doyle out to Conor Kelly, and if there's one man you want on the ball in this situation, it's Kelly. Bursting through off his left, hooked brilliantly. Simon Callanan comes out. Chance for Cunninghy to get the ball up the field. Bill Murphy underneath it, drops it. O'Loughlin Girls win it back, and they win a free. A critical free for O'Loughlin's to win at that juncture. The ball just spilled out of Bill Murphy's hand. It's going to be a free into Loughlin's. A chance for Conor Kelly to make it a 2-point game again. And the board has gone up for 2 minutes of injury time. There's already 40 seconds of that gone. And Kevin Murphy looks like he's going to be coming on for O'Loughlin's, number 19 here. A substitution you'd have to imagine is about just using up a bit of the clock as much as anything. I didn't see anyone down injured, Kieran, did you? Unless it's just the man that's down. Conor Everard calling for a temporary substitution here. Temporary substitution. He's made the T signal with his hands, and Kevin Murphy comes on. Did you see who's down, Kieran?
It's Sammy Johnson, Kieran.
Sammy Johnson, who's had a great game for O'Loughlin's. He started at wing forward. He was working his way back to midfield. Went into midfield officially then. And you'd have to imagine Conor Kelly or Conor Everard will have to add on a bit more time now, because 61 minutes and 30 seconds gone.
That's 3 half chances as well, Kieran, there for Conor Kelly for a goal. Maybe if it comes back as a level or a drawn game, they could come back and cost O'Loughlin's. Maybe to hit the ball over the bar might have been a better option, especially at this stage of the game.
Wise words there from Kieran Nari as Conor Kelly. Well, he's been very, very good on the frees all day. He's got a chance now to make it a 2-point game deep into injury time. He strikes it off his right, and that one has gone over the bar for what could be the critical score of this match. It's O'Loughlin's who lead, 117 to 115. Ball, goal breaks in the middle of the field. Donald Brennan. Connie will have to get a goal, you think. Donald plays it in, but that man again, Evan Walsh, as he has been all day, plays it down the wing. Kevin Murphy underneath it, Owen Wall, the two subs. Wall turns back onto his left, back onto his right, drops it to the ground. Can he get the ball back off him? Davy Healy trying to make his way out. He's held up by Dassel Famba. Dassel wins it back, trying to burst his way forward, flicks it off his hurl. Owen Wall trying to route it forward. Gary Kelly, big man in possession. Kelly tips it into the corner. What a great ball to play at this time of the match. Dassel Famba off his right hand side, plays it back across over towards Kevin Murphy, the man who's just come in as a sub. He's making his way through. Eddie Delaney blocks the shot. Kieran Mooney's in there as well. Davy Healy in there. A lot of Connie lads in there. O'Loughlin's doing well to hold the ball in there, but Connie have a free. Well, we're 3 minutes into 2 minutes of injury time. We're in the last chance saloon, Kieran.
Last chance saloon, Kieran, and there's another option there for O'Loughlin's hit the ball over the bar. But a big last couple of minutes coming up here now.
Ball lands on top of Owen Cahill. Cahill grabs it. He's looking inside towards James Bergen, the one man who might get it. James has it. He's going to be fouled. You just know that was going to happen. You just knew that was going to happen. There's no way the Loughlin's backs were going to let him in. They were probably right. And now it's all going to boil down to 121 yard free. 117 to 115 in favour of O'Loughlin's. 4 minutes into injury time. There was 2 indicated. There were a couple of stops in that time, of course. You'd have to imagine that Loughlin's will line the goal here. A fairly inconsequential yellow card handed out there to one of the Loughlin's backs, Barry Lawler. And as we say, it all binds down to this. James Bergen only places the ball 22 and a half yards out from the Loughlin's goals. And my understanding is that the Loughlin's backs have to be back on the line, but obviously not. James lifts, strikes, it's blocked out. And it's wide. It hit one of the Connie attackers. Final whistle, and O'Loughlin Gales are the county junior hurling champions for 2019. Some achievement for a club. Their second team to win the junior championship in Kilkenny. You know how hard it is to win anything. The Connie lads are crestfallen. The O'Loughlin Gales lads are delighted with themselves. Scenes of jubilation down to our left, 30 yards out from the goal. A team that lost a number of their players to their senior team and to injury during the course of this championship. Well done to them on their win. Hard luck to Connie Shamrocks. They were brilliant all the way through this championship, hurling some great stuff. They came up against a team who were just that little bit better than them today, but there was nothing in it. Kieran Nari, a fantastic contest all through.
Fantastic contest, Kieran. Probably just the wides maybe caught up with Connie at the end. To have 13 wides overall to O'Loughlin Gales 4 wides. You know, so that's like Loughlin's were just more clinical in front of goal. And look, we're just looking at the O'Loughlin Gales celebrations here, Kieran. You see experienced men like Alan Gagan there and Brian Murphy involved with Loughlin's, and they jumping around as if it was their first county final. Just shows how much it means to the O'Loughlin Gales club. But you'd have to be fierce disappointed for Connie Shamrocks. They had a great campaign and it'll be a tough one to take.
You might just give us a rundown on that second half before we wrap up there, Kieran.
Yes, so James Bergen opened the second half with a point for Connie Shamrocks to leave it Connie in a 2-point lead, 110 to 1-8. Then Edmund Delaney added his first point to leave it 111 to 1-8 after 33 minutes. Then Conor Kelly added 3 unanswered frees to level the game at 111 to 111 in the 38th minute. Owen Wall then pointed for O'Loughlin Gales to put them 1 point in front. The first time they led in the game in the 39th minute, 112 to 111. Then Conor Kelly added another free, 113 to 111. Edmund Delaney then pointed his second point to leave it 113 to 112. Sammy Johnson then tapped over his second point of the game to put O'Loughlin's into a 2-point lead, 114 to 112. Then James Bergen added a free to leave it 114 to 113, but Conor Kelly added another one for O'Loughlin's to leave it 115 to 113. Then James Bergen added another free for Conahee, 114 to 115, before Conor Kelly cancelled that out with another free, 116 to 114. Then James Bergen added another free in the 58th minute to leave it 116 to 115, heading towards the end. And the final score of the game then came from the impressive Conor Kelly, and he closed the scoring to leave it 117 to 115 in the 62nd minute.
O'Loughlin Gales, well, they'll owe this victory to a number of things, but some individuals really caught the eye there. I was particularly impressed with the likes of Barry Lawler, Evan Walsh, David Fogarty played very, very well at cornerback. Gary Kelly under the puck out. Jamie Ryan was very, very good in the first half. Fergal Brennan in the second half. Sammy Johnson all through. But of course, the man who's going to get all the plaudits here is the top scorer. 11 points, was it, Kieran? From Conor Kelly out of 117. That's fantastic scoring. Brilliant on a county final day. I don't think he missed a free. Good free taker on a big day.
Yeah, just one free here on in the first half, just over in front of us here. But yeah, he stood up to it, and there were some crucial frees out here in front of the all stand. He just came up and pointed him as if it was the first free of the game, and that was the difference in the end. But I thought Evan Welsh at centre back for O'Loughlin Gales was a tower all through, has been for O'Loughlin's in this junior campaign. But my man in there, full back Barry Lawler, spoke about before the game, and he just kept James Bergen to 2 points from play. I know that, and sorry, the goal as well, but you couldn't say he scored it directly off him. And when you have a lad like that, two lads like that, 5 or at 3 and 6, it's your backbone of your team. But all through, the work rate here on both teams was superb as well. Like the forwards between hooking and blocking, like overall it was a great junior county final.
Well, O'Loughlin's, they don't have too far to go to celebrate, and the celebrations will be very, very good up there tonight. Their captain, Sammy Johnson, will receive the trophy. He's up in the stand. Most of his teammates are down just about 30 yards out from the goal that they were defending in the first half, or in the second half. The Conaghy lads are gathered fairly near to the dressing room that they will be going into once this presentation is over, and some very, very crestfallen Conaghy Shamrocks lads. Sammy Johnson with the bandage around his head, the wounds of war, but he certainly did his bit for his team today. Showed great example as a captain and as an experienced player, a man who's played and won senior finals. This will be a big, big moment in his career, a proud moment for him to lift a trophy for his team. Jimmy Welch, the county board chairman, well, he's trying to call across people there over in front of the stand. I don't think anybody heard him, and if they did, they weren't listening to him. They're slowly making their way across now, some of the supporters, but the players, well, they are in a place called Cloud9. They're delighted with themselves. There were a couple of patches in that game, Kieran. Conaghy led 1-6 to 2 points in the first half, and then you pointed out to me there a stage in the second half. I think O'Loughlin's, they might have scored 4 or 5 points without reply. Those kind of things are crucial, aren't they?
Yeah, that was crucial, Kieran. Say James Bergen pointed it just after half time, and that put 2 points in it, and to leave it 110 to 1-8. But then Edmund Delaney was the last score, then 111 to 1-8, and then it was actually 5 unanswered points, Kieran, for O'Loughlin Gales at that stage, and it took from the 10 minutes for Edmund Delaney scored in the 33rd minute, and then he scored his second point in the 43rd minute, and I think that's where it came down to Conaghy lost that game. Like, there was 5 unanswered points, and Conaghy only scored 2 points in that space, so that's probably what it boils down to, Kieran. And
Conaghy, they're obviously disappointed, Kieran. It'll be no consolation to them that they contributed to a brilliant county final. Where do you see things going for them? It'll be hard to regroup, but they will do it.
Yeah, and look, to have a Leinster campaign to face into now as well, Kieran. And look, there was only a puck of the ball in it at the end. They had a great campaign, some excellent young hurlers there. Very, very impressed with Tom Phelan there. And in the second half, their backs stood tall there as well. And Kieran Mooney had an excellent second half of midfield as well. But like, they just have to regroup and take this Leinster campaign on now, and hopefully drive on and see how far they can go.
And of course, that Leinster campaign will start for Conaghy on Saturday week, 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks from yesterday. They'll be taking on Fingallians of Dublin. Jimmy Welch presenting the trophy.
Firstly, I would like to welcome JJ, Jack and Barbara Kavanagh of JJ Kavanagh & Sons, who are excellent and highly valued sponsors of our hurling and football championships, and also the travel partners for all of our county teams. This year, our junior championship is in its 150th year, and has catered for all the great players and teams. This year, Conaghy Shamrocks and the neighbours of O'Loughlin Gales have battled against public opinion and all the odds to get to the very top for the final. The past few weeks have been a highlight for both of your clubs and communities, as both of you saw the third junior county title, whilst coming from different positions. One seeking to get back up to the intermediate grade, and the second, O'Loughlin Gales, to create their own piece of history by having senior and intermediate teams in your club for the very first time. And I congratulate you for that.
Jimmy Welsh, the County Board Chairman, well, he's rightly congratulating Loughlin's on having senior and intermediate teams next year. A huge achievement for any club to have. I pointed out that Glenmore, they did it back in the 90s. I know there was others as well, but it's a fantastic thing for a club to have its second team playing in the second grade in Kilkenny. They'll relish the task of going up to play intermediate. They won't fear anybody. And of course, as always, when you're on a second team, you're trying to get on the first team, and it'll boost their senior team as well. Jimmy Welsh just commiserating with Conaghy Shamrocks, wishing them well for the future.
I particularly want to thank the players, officials and officers of both clubs, and also all the clubs who have competed in the junior competitions at all levels. We thank you for your dedication and commitment and inspiration to our young players. I extend a meal of greetings to all involved in any way in hosting today's games. The list includes the stewards of statutory bodies, medical personnel and the groundsmen, and I thank them for the way they've looked after the pitch in the last few weeks. Finally, I extend our best wishes to Conaghy Shamrocks in the Leinster Club Championships. This year, Paul Cannon was with us, or last year, Paul Cannon was with us, and he brought the winning teams across the country to the All-Ireland titles. And we will all be behind Conaghy Shamrocks this year, and I believe you can do what was done again last year. I would also like to thank the referee and his match officials for the way they handled the game. Thank you very much.
And the chairman, Jimmy Welsh, just mentioning that Conaghy, now rather unusually, of course, they're going into a Leinster campaign having not won the county final. Kind of a strange position to be in, Kieran.
It is. It's after the downside of today now, but look, isn't it a positive thing after today that if they can pick themselves up now and get a run in Leinster, and it could stand to them for next year, then just get a bit more experience into some of the younger players, and no better competition than a Leinster Championship again. Teams outside of Kilkenny, because we all know the Junior Championship in Kilkenny is so tough, and it might be something that they can get a few wins in now and go very far in. So best of luck to Conaghy Shamrocks, and hopefully they take that opportunity with both hands and see how far they can go.
I'd love to have that opportunity to be in this place. And I will now call on JJ and Paul of JJ Cameron and Sons to head the Bob Edward Memorial Cup to the winning captain, Sammy Johnson.
And as Jimmy Welsh presents the cup to the O'Loughlin Gaels captain Sammy Johnson, we're going to wrap it up here from Nolan Park. We'll let O'Loughlins have their celebrations in peace. Kieran, thanks very much for joining me today. You were a great help on commentary. And on behalf of me, Kieran Maloney and Tommy Butler Productions, we'll bid you good evening as Sammy Johnson raises the cup for O'Loughlins, the 2019 Kilkenny Junior Hurling Champions.
It's an absolute honour to be standing up here with the trophy on behalf of the team, the management, the club and the parish of St. John's and O'Loughlin Gaels. We've been building it for this for the last number of years. We've always come together at the last hour in our own competition and in the semi-finals. But today, thankfully, there's a couple of balls behind it, and luckily we came out on the right side of it. It's a testament to all the players that the effort and work they put in. It wasn't easy today, especially with our seniors playing there before us, but we know that we're doing a job to do, and thankfully we're not all the line. I'd like to say thanks to the ground staff, Ken McGarry and Shane O'Neill and the lads for Randall Bridge and such. Great over the past few weeks with the weather and everything. It's a testament to you, and it's the one in the place makes the best pitch every couple of years, so fair play, lads. I'd like to thank JJ Cameron and Sons for their continued sponsorship. Without local sponsorships, these competitions can't really go ahead, so fair play, thanks to you, lads. and get to an all-out final. And there's no doubt that he'll be here next year. He deserves to be up in the intermediate. So best of luck for us. 3 cheers for Connie Shamrocks. Finally, I'd like to thank our management staff, in particular for the training we've got all year off Melbourne and all Corner. It's good to us out there, our training with seniors, we've got all our young guys. So we're a very young team. Last couple of years we've been relying on our house helper, Paddy Hagan. He's still coming up and he's 45 or 6 now and he's been winning county finals a few weeks ago, so we're a young team and we'll be tested as we go next year. Hopefully we can just give a good rattle and be great for the future. When you then thank our own managers, our benefit staff, James O'Keefe, Owen Crawley, Alan Gregg, Willie Murphy, and Megan James Murphy. And then finally the last word to the main man, Paul Phelan. He's been the backbone of this junior team for the last 5 or 6 years since he came on board. He's put his heart and soul into it. It's just unbelievable feeling to give him this final and trophies. The one he's always great. And thank you for giving up and we want to play. This one's for all.